In this video, let's ask ChatGPT to create a Python program. Let's create a Python function for palindrome. What is a palindrome? Palindrome is a word or a phrase or a number that reads the same backwards as forwards. For example, look at the word madam, M-A-D-A-M. I can go from left to right or right to left. Both are the same, no? From left right means I am going from here, M-A-D-A-M. If I'm reading from right to left, it is the same, no? Such words are known as palindrome. Okay, so I am going to ask ChatGPT to create a Python function to identify whether a particular word is a palindrome or not. Okay, if you know programming, you will be able to understand and appreciate the concepts of function. Function helps us to organize the codes better in a computer program. Functions are very useful to manage repetitive tasks in a computer program. In a matter of speaking, function helps us to automate parts of computer program. Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT create. Before that, let's ask what is a palindrome. Okay, what is a palindrome? Right, let's ask what is a palindrome. See, it is giving the answer. Okay, so word, phrase, or other sequences. Right, it is giving the example madam. Right, please understand it's giving examples level, race car. These are examples of palindrome. Now we said we are going to create a Python function. So create a Python function to identify a palindrome. Okay, let's click this and see what it comes up with. Here is a Python function that takes a string as input, okay, and returns true if it is a palindrome and false if it is not. Right, it is giving this, and you have the option to copy the code. Right, you can take the code into your development environment. See how easy it is. Okay, it is even checking whatever code it has written. It is now checking by giving strings. Right, remember what I said, a palindrome is a word or a phrase or a numbers. Whether you read from left to right or right to left, both are the same. Okay, like madam. So this particular computer program, this particular computer function helps us to identify whether a particular word, okay, or a string is a palindrome or not. So a program has been written, and this is written in Python. Okay, this is written in Python, and it's also testing. In fact, I did not ask the function to do this, right? So this is very good, no? Now let me introduce some error in the code written by ChatGPT, and let me test whether it is able to identify the error and correct the error. Okay, let me copy this. Okay, and let me ask this question: correct the errors in the below program, below computer program. Okay, now if you see this, there is a gap, or what is called as an indentation. That is part of the syntax. Syntax is the way computer programs are written. Okay, so there is a specific format in which you have to write. That is known as a syntax. If you see here, there needs to be a gap, or what is called as an indentation. See here, there is a gap. Okay, let me show that once again. See, there is a gap. Okay, so I'm going to remove the gap. Right, if I remove the gap, and if you actually run the computer program, it will throw an error because the specific syntax of a function is not followed. Right, if I execute this 3 lines of code, okay, or 5 lines of code, it should throw up an error. It will definitely throw up an error. I want to check whether ChatGPT is able to identify that or not. Okay. Now let me click this. It has identified. It has correctly identified. Here is the corrected version of the program. See this? In the original program, the first line of the function was not indented correctly. See, these errors would cause what is known as an indentation error. This is beautiful, no? It is clearly identifying the error. It is even correcting the error, right? Now, interestingly, when I asked the same question sometime back, about 2 hours back or so, ChatGPT said there were no errors in the program. Okay, I gave the same program where I induced some errors. Okay, I fed the same thing, that is these 5 lines of code, and asked ChatGPT to identify the errors. In fact, I used the word identify. Okay, it said there are no errors, and now if I try, it has correctly identified, right? So what is the takeaway? ChatGPT has got the potential to write a program, identify errors in a program, but it can also make mistakes. Please note that. That's a very, very important point. So the reliability of ChatGPT is not all that high. You still have to use your knowledge and understanding to check for errors. So please keep that in your mind.